Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Michelle, your practical priestess here at Divinely Genuine, here to always remind you to be your authentic, true self, that you don't have to compromise your own beliefs, to be cool, to fit in, to, be like the Joneses or any of that stuff. Just be you, and it's all good. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. You have divinely genuine gifts and talents to use. All right, so anyways, we're here to talk about the lunar eclipse happening in Leo at the 0 degrees. Anyways, it's happening tomorrow night, Sunday the 21st of January, about 10:30 Houston time, so it's Central Time. And it's also said to take on a red color. Now, full moons represent completion. A lunar eclipse are like a fated change, okay? This is completing the lunar eclipse in Leo cycle, which was happening since August of 2017. So whatever has been going on for you, think back to August 2017 when those eclipses started. And it probably has something to do with you coming back to your heart space, figuring out what you're passionate about, what inspires you, what keeps your heart pumped. Leo is fixed fire, so there is a steady, constant inspiration and a flow of excitement. Okay, so as we do complete this lunar eclipse cycle in Leo at the 0 degrees, it pulls in an Aries vibe of moving forward without all the answers. Okay, it is making a square to Uranus, which is asking us to kind of go with the flow and be just kind of like ready to allow Uranus to surprise us with some extreme news or event or something like that, as Uranus likes to shake things up that way. The element of fire is passionate, it is driven, it is our inspiration. It can be a little forceful. It can seem a little overbearing or bossy. It can be overconfident, but it definitely makes things happen, moves forward, is passionate and energetic and excitable. I am going to give you guys the information you need to understand where this is happening for you guys in your astrology natal chart based on your ascendant. If you don't know your ascendant, you're welcome to go by your sun or moon sign. If you would like to know your ascendant, I can help you with that. I just need your details of your birth, including your birth time. And if you'll just allow me a minute to pray over the tarot, we'll pull. Divine Spirit, I thank you for the advice, insight, and guidance that you're here to give us through the tarot for this lunar eclipse happening in Leo at the 0 degrees. We thank you, Spirit, for always being available to us at any point in time that we need you. All right. And Spirit, I would like to ask that one more time for these Healing Fairy Oracle cards, that you could help us Aries through Pisces, one card apiece, for this lunar eclipse in Leo happening tomorrow night. I thank you for the insight, advice, and guidance. It's a lot of heavy wind here in Houston today. It's crazy. We had some crazy rain, lightning, and thunder. Go ahead and cut the decks. And I've got all my crystals here as well, giving us added good juju. I do want to remind you that eclipses do bring fated changes, okay? When you're in a completion cycle, there is a need to let go and to allow God to move you to the things that you're more passionate and that keep your drive and inspiration going. Aries ascendant, this for you is happening in your 5th house of your passions, your drive, what inspires you. It's your childlike energy. And you've drawn the King of Cups. Aries, this is about mastering your emotions as the King of Cups does. And trusting your intuition. Okay, awesome cards. So trust your intuition and master those emotions, Aries, at this time during this lunar eclipse. I also do want to bring up that Monday, as we come into Monday, that square to Uranus will be moving away from, and we're going into a grand fire trine happening between Jupiter, which is conjunct Venus, Jupiter and Sag, Jupiter with Venus being conjunct in Sag, trining over to Mars and Aries, both in their home signs, to our Moon in Leo. So it's a beautiful grand fire trine. Credits to the Leo King, as I wouldn't have known about that. Yeah. And so for you guys, it's happening in your 1st house of self-identity and ego, your 5th house of passions and the heart, and your 9th house of higher mind, foreign affairs, and world travel. Okay. Moving on to Taurus ascendant. Taurus ascendant, this lunar eclipse in Leo is happening for you guys in the 4th house of your home, your family, your roots, and your tribe. It's like where you feel to your core emotionally. Okay. Now the grand trine happening on Monday will be highlighting your 4th house, which I just went over, your 8th house, which is things we don't really like to look at, like hidden things, secrets, intimacy is there, deep depth is there. It can rule other people's money and taxes. And it's also highlighting your 12th house, which is the house of spirituality, also the house of our dreams. Okay. You guys have pulled a reversed spiritual awakening. So Taurus ascendant, you may be resisting the call to awakening. Really want to take some time and see what is blocking you, and so that you can move forward to your spiritual awakening call. You've got the beauty card as well, saying what is real beauty to you, Taurus? What do you define as true, authentic, real beauty? Okay. Gemini ascendant, this Leo lunar eclipse is happening for you guys in your 3rd house of communication, travel, learning, writing, and the grand fire trine on Monday is highlighting that 3rd house, plus your house of relationships, partnerships, as well as your 11th house, which is your 7th house, partnerships, relationships, and your 11th house of our goals, our groups and friendships, social groups we're a part of. This can be online as well, as the 11th house is ruled by Uranus, which rules technology. Okay, and you've got the 5 of Swords. So Gemini ascendants, during this lunar eclipse in Leo, you're going to be saying at all cost. At all cost, you're going to chase those passions and that deep heart space that keeps you inspired. You also have financial flow upright. That is also wonderful. So Gemini ascendants, you're not only going to say, you know what, at all costs, I'm following my heart, but you are going to be blessed when you do so. That is awesome. And, you know, that grand trine is beautiful as like it's Venus conjunct Jupiter. So they're sharing energy. Jupiter's expanding relationships and love and our projects and creativity, which is also our money and our resources and how we feel good. And so that's beautiful. And it's trining Mars, which is our ambition and passion and drive. And then to our moon, which is our emotions as well as our mind. Cancer ascendant, this is happening for you guys in the second house of self-value, self-worth, and your money and resources. The grand fire trine is highlighting that second house, as well as your sixth house of everyday task, daily work, chores, how you serve others. Sorry, I keep looking down, it's just my notes. Can you see it? These lights are so bright. Anyway. So where was I? Your sixth house of your everyday chores and daily task, right? And it can represent your work as well, what you're doing for work every day. It's highlighting as well your 10th house of your career, your power and authority and how you use it. Okay. We have the moon reversed. So things will be illuminated, hidden things will be revealed, and well, actually with it reversed, I would say that there's a need to look a little deeper, that someone may be hiding something from you. During this time, that you may not have all of the information, because upright, it's representing things being illuminated. Reversed is going to say there's some things that are hidden from you. Okay. You also have dreams coming true reversed. So you really want to get in touch, Cancer Ascendant, with your own judgment, your own emotional state, and what is really going on inside. What truth are you denying to bringing your dreams to fruition? Okay. Moving on to Leo Ascendant. This is highlighting for you guys your first house of self-identity and the ego. Your fifth house and ninth house will be activated during Monday's grand fire trine, representing your inner child, your passions, your creativity, the drama in your life, what inspires you, as well as the ninth house of our higher mind, worldly travel, foreign affairs, higher knowledge. Okay. Ooh, I'm sorry. So we've got the Three of Swords, which is pain. I did mention that this is completing the lunar eclipse cycle, and it's not easy to say goodbye to things that we love or have found special. Don't worry, Leos, you guys are headed to even more inspiring, heartfelt connections in your life. And you've got miracle healing. So there you go. The pain's going to happen, but you'll have a miracle healing. God always delivers, right? It's beautiful. So then moving on to Virgo Ascendant, this is happening for you guys in the 12th house of Leo, which is the spiritual house, and it's also speaking about your subconscious mind, the dream world, and all of that stuff. That'll be highlighted during the lunar eclipse. During the Monday grand fire trine, also your 4th house of home and family, your deep rooted emotional space, your tribe, where you feel most at home, as well as the 8th house of other people's money, hidden things, deep intimacy, things we don't want to deal with, like taxes, that sort of stuff. Okay. And we have the Devil card. So, you know, this isn't like a religious thing about God and the devil. But what this represents in tarot is the chains that bind you, as these two are bound by chains. Okay. And, you know, usually all we have to do is change our mind about how we're thinking about it. You aren't bound to any relationship. It's probably the way you're thinking about that relationship or that job or that contract or situation. As we begin to open our mind, we can then open up the doors to receive blessings and not restrict ourselves into, I can't move on because we feel guilty or because we're bound. You know, you have to do the mental work. And to back it up, the fairies have a reverse letting go. And, you know, it really takes letting go to let those chains off of you, to feel free. You have to let go of any expectations or societal expectations of what you should do, what you are involved in, and all of that stuff. And you really got to connect to your deep knowing on where you want your life to go. Libra ascendants, we have the 8 of Cups upright. And for Libra ascendants, this is happening for us in the 11th house of our groups and friendships, which is where the lunar eclipse in Leo would be happening. During the grand fire trine, the 3rd house of communication, learning, writing, and the 7th house of relationships are also being activated during this grand fire trine. And the 8 of Cups is looking out like a spiritual wanderer. He's just about to be in the state of his fulfillment, with the 9 of Cups being next. But he's seeking a spiritual truth. Okay. I'm going to grab my book because I want to make sure that I'm remembering that right. Yeah. It's also leaving something behind, letting go of the past and moving on. It's abandonment, questing for an inner truth, seeking the spiritual realm, the wandering stranger, feeling that something is missing, pilgrimage. Okay, Libra ascendants. And we have laughter. And that's perfect for a Leo lunar eclipse because Leo brings in this inspiring, fun, playful, childlike energy. If you follow the moon and Leos are always the most fun. And especially since they come from the really deep, emotional Cancer moons. Scorpio ascendant, the lunar eclipse is happening for you guys in the 10th house of career, your power and authority and how you use it. The grand fire trine on Monday will activate your 2nd and 6th house. This is your money, your work, your self-value, how you're serving others, your daily tasks and chores as well. Okay. So for you guys, we have the High Priestess. Keep trusting that intuition, Scorpios. That's awesome. The High Priestess definitely knows how to trust her intuition. And we've got Stand Your Ground. So as you know that you know that you know what you're being told, what you're feeling, and what you're feeling pulled towards or led towards, stand your ground and getting yourself there, because, you know, I believe it's once we get past the fear and pain of separating from what we've known into these new exciting territories will come the blessings. Sagittarius ascendant, this Leo lunar eclipse will be activating your 9th house of foreign travel, foreign affairs, higher knowledge, the higher mind. So great insights can be had at this time for you guys. The grand fire trine will be affecting your 1st house of self-identity as well as ego, the 5th house of your childlike inspiration and passion and playfulness, and then your 9th house, again, of the higher learning, higher knowledge, and foreign affairs. Overseas travel can be there too. We've got the wheel reversed. So the wheel represents karmic change. When it's reversed, we're trying so hard to maybe block that from happening. But remember, like, you've been through pain and like crazy stuff before, and trying to hold on doesn't ever really do it justice. So figure out why you're blocking yourself and allow the wheel to turn, because that is where God wants you and where you are supposed to be. To back that up, we have a reversed feeling safe. So it does feel safe when, you know, karmic events start to happen and fate starts to change our direction of things. But once you can clear the blocks, you can be more excited and feel safe as to where the universe is actually taking you. Okay. Capricorn ascendant, this is happening for you guys. The lunar eclipse will be in your 8th house of hidden things, intimacy, depth, things we don't want to deal with, other people's money, taxes, and that's for the lunar eclipse. Now the grand fire trine on Monday will be affecting your 4th house of home, family, your tribe, your core emotional world, as well as the 12th house of your spiritual world. And that's where we see our subconscious patterns, the dream world, that sort of stuff. Capricorn ascendant, we have the reversed Tower card. So Tower card represents things falling that no longer serve us, falling out of our lives. Unfortunately, when it's reversed, it's like, just like with Sagittarius ascendant, like trying to hold on. It's best to just let go and allow. Because yes, craziness and chaos will come, but it's easier when you just allow. And then you've got a reversed look inside yourself. Okay, so, you know, with these two together, Capricorn ascendant, you know the truth deep within yourself. And once you discover that, instead of looking outside of yourself as what the world says is okay and what others may think, when you look inside yourself, you get the truth. And then you realize that these things were meant to fall away. Okay? Aquarius ascendant, the Leo lunar eclipse is happening in your 7th house of partnerships, relationships. The grand fire trine on Monday is affecting your 3rd house of communication, travel, your writing style, your learning style, as well as the 11th house of your groups and friendships. And this can include social media as well. Aquarius ascendant, you guys have the Emperor reverse. This is one who is fearful or scared or blocking his own power. Okay, you got to clear that block so that you can step into your power. Don't be a person of fear, but be a person of faith. Okay. You also have awakening to your true self. So as you awaken to your true self, Aquarius ascendants, you guys will then find the power and be able to use it. Pisces ascendant, this is happening for you guys in your 6th house of your work, service to others, everyday task and chores. The grand fire trine will be highlighting your 2nd house of resources, your money, your self-value and self-worth, as well as the 6th house of your work and your service to others. And then the 10th house of your power and how you use it, as well as your career. Pisces ascendant, you have the 2 of Pentacles, which is balancing with the changes of life, learning to go with the flow and dance with the changes of life, which as a Pisces, you definitely have learned to do. And we'll need to do at this time. Eclipses are fated, so just allow and have fun and celebrate. Tap into that Leo vibe. So you've got a reversed be honest with yourself. So we don't want to be our own worst enemy and fool ourselves and try to create a story to not follow our highest good and highest passion. That's where we're going to go ahead and stop, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you would like any further services, of course, check me out on my website, divinelygenuine.com. I would love it if you guys would like, subscribe, and share this video. And I wish you the best, happy lunar eclipse in Leo and a beautiful Monday with that grand fire trine. Thank you, guys. Peace.